Hello everyone, welcome back once again to my channel Simplifying Business Studies. So children, this is going to be lesson number 14 of chapter 2 of class 11 forms of business organization. We have already covered a lot of part of this type of business organization, that is cooperative organization. So in this particular session, we are going to understand different types of cooperative organizations. So let's not waste time and quickly start with our lesson. So we will understand the different types of cooperative organization. First one in this category is consumer cooperative society. So this society generally consists of consumers who come together to eliminate the middlemen. The consumer cooperative society purchases goods in bulk from the manufacturer and they sell to the members at a reasonable price. So these things will be much lesser uh, than the price which we get in the marketplace. So definitely the commissions of the middlemen is eliminated through this setup, and whatever the profits are secured, they are distributed among the members as dividend on the capital or bonus in proportion to what they purchase during the year. So what are the main objectives of forming such a cooperative society? To ensure steady supply of all the essential goods at reasonable prices. Also, uh, eliminating the profit margins of middlemen, so that all can get all these goods at reasonable prices, and also they can definitely afford the high quality expensive goods which are now available at a lower prices. So these are the objectives which they secure by such kind of setup. Second is producers cooperative society. So this society consists of small producers who individually find it very difficult to find maybe the inputs or the machinery or the latest technology for their business. So they all come together and they have different benefits. What are those benefits? What they all can secure if they all come together? Uh, the one which provides raw material, inputs, machinery, so that producers can concentrate on production. That means availability of all the inputs, machinery at one place. And it can be a cooperative society which provides selling the goods produced by these producers, so they can give different kind of advantages. And what happened to the profits of the producers cooperative society? It gets distributed in proportion to the goods which are sold by each member to the society. What are different objectives again? It ensures steady supply of raw material at a reasonable price. It provides the provision of latest machinery and new technology of the production. Also, it ensures smooth distribution and sale of goods produced by the members, and also helping the producers to concentrate on the production of goods. So this is producers cooperative society. Next one is cooperative marketing society. So cooperative marketing society involves all the small producers who find it difficult to sell their products at profit. So these are all the people who are definitely producing goods, but they don't know how to market their products. So output of all the small producers is brought together and these are sold at the best prices. Such a society helps to improve the uh, bargaining power and different kind of competitive positions of its members. It performs variety of things for the members: transportation, warehousing, packaging, grading. So it overall helps in good marketing of the product. So what are the main objectives again? The main objective of this kind of society is to ensure favorable market for the products which are so produced, and also ensure best price for the output so that one can get best output for the product sold. Also provision of facilities like transportation, warehousing, packaging, which are all helpful in marketing a product. Next one is cooperative credit society. As the name is so suggestive, it consists of people with to limited means to run their businesses. So that means these societies provide financial assistance to the members and promote habit of saving among the members. So this kind of organization, they contribute funds uh, by encouraging everyone to save more, and also they make deposits by members and the outsiders. The fund is then used uh, for giving loans and credits to the needy members on very easy terms. So this kind of cooperative society is formed uh, for helping all these people. Generally, it is formed in rural areas so that everyone who is in need of money, they can get the money so that they can go on with their professional ventures. So what are the benefits? It protects the members from the exploitation of different money lenders. It ensures easy loans at easy terms and low rate of interest, and also it encourages people to develop a habit of savings. Now next one is cooperative farming and housing society. So cooperative farming society, let us understand this first. This consists of small farmers who come together to avail the benefits of large scale farming. Such societies are particularly important in such countries like India, where agriculture suffers from extensive subdivisions of land. So farming cooperative society is also known as agriculture cooperative society. What are its main advantages? Again, its main advantages are to give benefits of large scale farming to the small farmers. Also, it helps them to buy seeds, fertilizers, irrigation methods, modern techniques at a lesser price. Also, it provides social and economic security. Now, what is cooperative housing society? As the name is so suggestive, it is the society which is formed to provide residential accommodation to the members. These societies, what they do is they purchase a huge, big plot of land, they construct flats on it, and without including any profit, they sell these flats, these apartments to the members on easy installments and easy terms. So these housing cooperative societies provide loans also to the members if they are in need of it. These kind of societies are very common in urban areas. What are the benefits? Again, providing residential accommodation to the members, helping these members to purchase these houses at a lower cost, and also provide different civic amenities in the society. For example, roads, parks, street lights, parking, and all the facilities which are required commonly to all the households. So these are the different types of cooperative organizations. So with this particular topic we have completed cooperative organizations. I'm sure my content is understandable to all of you. Still, if you have any doubts, you can reach me through the comment box of this video and also through this email which is visible on your screen. Hope you have a good day watching my video. If you like it, please do not forget to like it and share it with your friends. Thank you so much. Have a very nice day ahead.